Hi, this is the Couch Coomer again. You might find in some of my videos, in the comments below it, if you look at a lot of the Clever Sausage ones on YouTube, I often mention the ancient Assyrian Aramaic or Ashurit or Ashurit, Katav Ashurit. Okay. That Bereshit or Genesis has been translated from that old scribal language into English by native-born Aramaic-speaking translator Victor N. Alexander. Okay, and some people I think ask, "Wow, what the hell's that? Is that like a really old language? What's that?" Ask questions, that sort of stuff. I can't remember if I replied to them or not. I possibly did. Okay, and I found in this book, well, using Google Scholar, I put in Leshana Atiqa. Okay, it's supposedly the old scribal language that the Old Testament was actually written in, compiled by scribes in Edessa around 800 BC, not long after Jonah, the dove, had gone to Nineveh and spoke to the Ashurit king, or the Ashurit king, and about the wrath of God that's coming upon them because they were like, pretty evil or something like that. So he believed everything that Jonah had said. So he demanded that everybody in his kingdom repent, destroyed all these idols and stuff like that, and the story goes on. Right, and then they wrote it all down using cuneiform on clay tablets, and then a library was made where they were all stored, and they later burned down, which hardened the clay, and then Henry Leonard and a Arab friend uncovered it and found about 30,000 to 50,000 of these clay tablets with the cuneiform on it. And this Victor N. Alexander went around the different museums and was looking at it supposedly, and he noticed it had Aramaic underneath it, so he translated it, right? And that's what his Bereshit or Genesis, book of Genesis, is translated from, this old scribal language. You can go have a look at the story of Adam and Eve by typing in Aramaic scriptures, and it should come up as an old white-haired man with a cap, and you'll see that it holds up the book Genesis or Bereshit, and he explains how he translated it, and all this sort of stuff, and actually uses the Aramaic and translated it to English, and explaining the account of God creating the heavens and the earth and Adam and Eve, etc. and so forth. Okay, so basically I found a little bit of information through Google Scholar, a book called Code Switching Worldwide, maybe book 2. Again, it has a little information on it, because someone out there said that this language, or what I put down in a comment, did not exist. There was no Aramaic, no Assyrian Aramaic, and no Ashurit, and no Leshana Atiqa. So this proves this guy wrong. He didn't know what he was talking about. Okay, it says here, should we get up to the top here? Okay, somewhere around here. The Assyrians, which languages the Assyrians speak has varied in accordance with where they have lived, internationally, geopolitics, and the amount of contact they have had with people outside the Assyrian community. As a result of the diverse patterns of multilingualism in different Assyrian communities, as well as the geographical separation of these communities, the grammar, phonology, and lexicon of the Assyrian dialects spoken in different regions have come to vary widely, making communications quite difficult between speakers of highly divergent dialects. A further complication exists that in the Christian Assyrian speech community appears to have been diglossic throughout its history. What does this diglossic mean? I have no idea what that means. Okay, so look it up. What's it? Diglossic? Diglossic, because I don't have a definition for it, so I might have a misunderstanding of it, misunderstood. So I need to get it defined. Okay, in linguistics, diglossia by looks of it, is a situation in which two dialects or languages are used by a single language community. Okay, so they use Syriac and Aramaic, right? Maybe Assyrian, Aramaic, or Ashurit. Okay, or Assyrian, because there's actually no Assyrian Aramaic. I was told that by a native-born Assyrian. Okay, yeah, so they were using two languages, situation in which two dialects or languages are used by a single language community. In addition to the community's everyday or vernacular language variety, labeled L or low variety, a second highly codified lect, labeled H or high, is used in certain situations such as literature, formal education, or other specific. Yeah, okay, some more information here. Get more words, right? It just ends at other specific. Okay. Yeah, okay, were we? In linguistics, diglossia is a situation in which two dialects or languages are used by a single language community. In addition to the community's everyday or vernacular language variety labeled L or low variety, a second highly codified lect labeled H or high is used in certain situations such as literature, formal education, or other specific settings, but not used normally for ordinary conversation. In most cases, the H variety has no native speakers, but various degrees of fluency of the community in which the two languages exist. It goes on there. Okay, so there's two languages used by a one language community, basically. Etymology: the Greek word diglossia normally refers to bilingualism in general, but was first used in a specialized meaning explained by Emmanuel Royds in the prologue of his blah 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 blah, goes on with that. Okay, so that's basically what it is. It's yeah, two languages used in a normally one language community, if I can put it that way. Okay. It's been diglossic throughout its history, using one Aramaic language, classical Syriac, called an Assyrian, Leshana Atiqa. I'm not too sure on that one because I suspect that Alexander might have a different view on that, yeah, okay. Classical Syriac. Yeah, well, I guess that. Yeah, yes, I get it because I think Assyrian, Syrian. Yeah, basically the same people. I think you can drop the ASS, or the AS, and you get Syrian. They're basically the same. Okay, Assyrian Leshana Atiqa, the old language, or Leshana Supraya. Yeah, I think he spells it as Suprayh, the literary language for the church and initially also for all written documents, while using another language, modern Assyrian, known in that language as Leshana Kata, the new language, a misappellation of as it is apparently as old as the other, or Leshana Swadaya, the vernacular language, as the oral language. Although there are clearly more processes which have led to dialect differentiation in the Assyrian community, there have also been forces leading to dialect unification. Okay, I think that's about all that goes on about that. As a religious and ethnic minority group in the mostly Muslim and Arab Middle East, the Assyrians have experienced frequent persecution. As a consequence of this fact, from the turn of the century, Syrian immigrants began settling in the American Midwest. Okay. I think Victor N. Alexander was saying Mesopotamia, and that they totally lost their land and invaded, and did a lot of people, and we fought in World War One or Two, and a lot of them died. So there's not many that can actually translate from the Ashurit, the Syrian Aramaic, into English. And it's those that can still speak it, but that's all they can speak. They don't know English, so they can't translate it for you. Okay. Any more information on Leshana Atiqa? Yeah. Might be best to ask an Assyrian on YouTube, whatever, or online something, about this Leshana Atiqa, or what's the other one they called it? Leshana Sabreya, Leshana Qatar, Leshana Swadaya, and they'll be able to give you more information on it, because they obviously know of it, probably speak it, one of those three, or all of them, I don't know. Yeah, it's just to give you a heads up that that's basically, when I talk about Leshana Atiqa, that's what it is. Okay, where it originated from. That was from a book by Rudolfo Jacobson, Code Switching Worldwide. You can get it on, have a look at it on Google Scholar. I managed to get on there through the advice of this lady on YouTube. So yeah, it's just to let you know when I use those words, Leshana Atiqa or Assyrian Aramaic, then you'll know what I was referring to. It was a sacred scribal language, the old tongue, right, that the Old Testament prophets, the scribes used, and spoken, wrote with. Okay. We'll see you again with some more information as it comes to light. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments below, your views and opinions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.